What's up, guys? So today's going to be like a little therapy session. Really quick, I wanted to talk about what I'm calling a domino effect of bad decisions. In my personal opinion, I think a lot of you guys are going to relate to this. But in my personal opinion, the most difficult sort of periods in the market is trend transition phases, right? Because when the trend is transitioning, we would expect it to be sort of directionally proportional to whatever the move was initially, right? So that is to say, like, hey, if we've been downtrending along these 4 hour 200s for the past 3 months, with a negative 60% sort of drawdown, then we would expect the reversal of that trend to lead to some sort of proportional move in the opposite direction, right? So something, pretty grand because that move itself was so exaggerated and so extreme. We're not just going to look for a 5% bounce, a 10% bounce. We're going to look for a reversal, right? We're going to look for a trend shift over the course of the next few weeks, or maybe even next few months, or who the hell fucking knows. I don't know, right? Maybe we go into a bull market from here and this is actually the generational bottom, right? I can't actually know, but the market has absolutely forced my hand into just assuming that this is the trend reversal, that this is the sign of strength, this is the trigger that is kind of implying that we are going to shift into a new trend for I would think at least a few days, at least a couple of months, right? Something along these lines, something proportional to the extent of the move that was the downtrend along this exact same sort of region, right? And we have a ton of altcoin examples to kind of portray this idea. But the fear oftentimes is that we'll instead do something like this, right? And back in February, I have a video titled Bitcoin Fear of Chop. I have expressed that that is my current fear as of right now, right? As a trend trader. And really, I'm very exceptional at ranges too, but as a trend trader primarily, I'm going to make money in either downtrends or uptrends, right? That's where I thrive. So anything other than that, I don't really thrive. I can trade a range because ranges are very fundamentally simple. You just buy range lows, you sell range highs, right? That is the sort of whole concept behind a range. But in order for us to develop a range in the first place, right? Which, by the way, this ends up kind of forming this like weird consolidation, but within that range. But in order for us to shift into a range in the first place, we have to chop through the trend, right? Which means that we have to acknowledge that the trend is no longer the trend, right? We don't have an uptrend, we don't have a downtrend. The trend is there is no trend. And then in order for us to get to that point, we kind of have to get chopped up at least once, or maybe even twice, right? Hopefully not three times, right? And definitely not like four times, because now you're just getting rid of a lot of this profit that you would have made from the trend prior to that, right? And even the 10%, only the 10% push upwards as a result of assuming a new trend, right? So you would have given away a lot of your profits. But there's this fear, though. There's this inherent fear because humans love to kind of dwell on the pessimistic side of things, where there's just absolutely no fucking way that this could be the start of something different. There's just no way, right? And you're going to find of like arguments to counteract this idea of, hey, at this time we're still macro bearish because technically it's still a lower high on the daily, or because on-chain analytics don't agree that this is a local bottom, or because something that Elon Musk is saying, right? Compare that to today, and you might be saying something along the lines of, oh, well, the Fed printer isn't going burr anymore, right? Or, oh, have you seen the, economic crisis with oil or whatever the hell is going on in Europe with the, with the euro and blah, 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 whatever, right? You're going to find these arguments, and it's going to trigger this domino effect of bad decisions based off of a fear that isn't affecting you. The fear is not tangible at this moment. The fear is that we're going to uptrend, right? And that you're going to be left on the sideline. That is the fear. And you understand that. If you're watching this video right now, you understand that concept. But there's this sort of tug and pull of emotions that lead to this domino effect of bad decisions where 1 second you're buying back your entire spot bag on Bitcoin, right? Or on ETH or whatever. And the next second, Bitcoin lover 69420 tweets and says, "Oh, look at this rally. It's, short lived. It's blah blah blah. It's a lower high." And then you just capitulate. And now all of a sudden, you went from fully exposed on your or on your spot bags to now you're net short, right? You sold your entire spot. You capitulated 1% higher or lower or whatever, and now all of a sudden you opened up a short, right? But your initial thesis was, oh shit, we're going to uptrend. But here you are fading the uptrend. You're letting that sort of emotion, that inherent fear, that pessimism get to you. That's not the fear here. The fear is that the new trend that is quite clearly showing you, hey, this is a new trend, actually goes on and develops a new trend. That should be your fear. Anything else that occurs, right? If we end up chopping, or even if we just end up deviating back inside the range or losing the 4-hour 200s again, and then downtrending into the depths of hell for the rest of forever and Bitcoin goes to zero, cool. Adjust. It's that fucking simple. Take probabilistic bets, assess your risk, assess what the reward is going to be if that bet plays out and pays off for you, and adjust continuously. Determine, is my idea invalid? Right? So as of right now, the fear still is that we're going to uptrend over the long course of time. Whatever that means, I have no fucking clue, right? And truthfully, I don't care. I don't care if this is the extent of the move. I already profited. I already printed on ETH longs. I already printed on Solana. I'm in a Bitcoin long that's up like 2 or 3R at the moment, right? I don't give a shit. So if we don't uptrend any more further than this, I'll just simply adjust. And I might take a loss on the chin because I just recently doubled down on my position. Now my average has been pulled up. I think it's like 22K or whatever. And I'm using these lower time frames to kind of get a jump on price action and scale my assumptions upwards, right? And say that, hey, if we lose the 15-minute 200s, we also lose these range highs, right? We also break our hourly market structure bearishly. So all of a sudden, we're not creating higher highs and higher lows on the hourly as we have been for literally each and every single push upwards, right? So, I mean, you can absolutely look at this chart and within 4 seconds, you're going to tell me that's an uptrend. You fully understand that this is an uptrend just as much as I do, just as much as a 10-year-old does, right? The thing that determines, are you a winner, are you a loser at the end of the day, is how do you approach the fact that we're uptrending? How do you approach the fact that we're reclaiming a 3-month long trend that we saw negative 60% downtrend along? And now all of a sudden, for the first time in 3 months, we're just now starting to reclaim it. How do you approach that idea? Right? That's what determines, are you a winner, are you a loser? But don't fall into this string of domino affecting where one decision based off of an impulse leads to another impulsive decision, leads to another impulsive decision. All of a sudden you come back 5 days from now and you would be better off just saying, oh shit, I would have been much better off if I just held on to one position, one of those positions, right, and adjusted that way instead of making one position, closing it, opening up another, closing it, opening up another, closing it, right? Because you don't even know what the fuck you want to do here because it's scary, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. This current environment, it's scary. It's a trend transition period. You have people on Twitter telling you that this is the start of something different. We might be, macro bottoming or generationally bottoming, and you're in, full cash, but you also have people saying, oh no, don't worry, it's just going to be a deviation. Oh no, don't worry, we're not going past 24K. Oh, don't worry, we absolutely won't go past 28K. Oh, don't worry, there's no possible way we're going to go to all-time highs again, right? You have people saying that on Twitter as well. It's a trend transition period. Everyone's kind of conflicted right now. You have to determine your own approach and you have to stomach that and you have to live with it. If you're not willing to stomach it and live with it and live with the consequence of your decision, of your one outcome that you're relying on being wrong, then don't fucking rely on that one outcome. It really is that simple. So don't put yourself in a position where you absolutely need something to happen in order to win, right? Put yourself in a position where you can potentially win regardless of whatever the fuck happens from here. And yeah, so don't let emotions get to you, but this is my Bitcoin analysis. It's extremely fucking simple. It has already paid off when I applied this sort of way of thinking for ETH. It already paid off when we look at Sol. Right, this already paid off massively. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than this, and this looks to be like it's just starting, truthfully. So, I mean, we're gonna look for trend continuation. We assume the same way that we did for Bitcoin. We assume the same way that we did for ETH. And we're just playing probabilities, or as we perceive those probabilities to kind of be shaping up with each and every single candle that gets printed. And that's all we can really do. We put risk onto the market, we play the perceived probabilities, the way that we see things, and we take things level to level, and then we, assess how do we justify expecting one way or the other, right? And then if you can justify something, that means you can also invalidate that something as well, right? And that is trading at the end of the day. Don't fucking overcomplicate it with thousands and thousands of decisions because you just want to acknowledge each and every single person's opinion on crypto Twitter, including my own, right? And that should be the main takeaway of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little therapy session. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. I know that we didn't, really talk about anything too heavy TA based, but I hope you guys are doing okay in this market. If you want to ape with me, go use my Bybit referral link. Share this video with your grandma because I'm sure she'll appreciate it as well. Donate to my Avocado Toast fund. There's links in the description below, right? That's what the YouTube influencers say. And yeah, take it easy, guys. Much love.